say ready, set, go with DJ.
Nah, it's all because I got the podcast now, so we
that's
good.
Right.
Yeah.
Relax and take notes.
I'm kind of trained a little bit.
Listen, we got DJ in the building, the owner and creator of the olive leaf extract. Okay, and so I know you're actually gonna drink wine today.
A little bit, yeah.
See, I did not know that you drank wine because, like, I can't believe you're over like 50. You're 50, right?
Right, 52.
52. Like, you look like a kid. Like, you look like you're in your 20s. People tell you that all the time, don't they?
All the time.
Listen,
all the time.
Look, your skin is glowing.
I appreciate it.
Look, you got on your dashak. I can tell you've been over there.
You know what I mean?
In Nigeria,
I go home.
royal oats.
Yeah. I go home from time to time.
How many wives you got over there?
You're trying to incriminate me.
It is the wine cellar. It is. We're going to get you some red wine. I'm going to get this midnight over here. And I may sip just a little bit. I've been under the weather for the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. I went down to Virginia Beach. We sold out for Mother's Day because, I work every holiday.
Right.
And the day before, I started, my ears started itching, throat started itching. I was like, what the hell going on? So I did not have the olive leaf with me, right? But then there was a Whole Foods around the corner, so I went and bought one of them little dropper bottles.
Right.
And it was really concentrated. And I was using that. And I wouldn't even let Shek use it because I was like, I don't want no
the little 2-ounce bottles.
Yeah, the little 2-ounce bottles. And so I've been on that all week, but I'm glad you brought me some bottles because I got my hot water ready and these sniffles, and we about to knock it out. I'm ladies first, and then I'm gonna open you a bottle of wine.
Okay,
so
that's
yes.
what's up.
But this is how I always drink it when
you drink it straight, right?
I'm sick. I drink it straight, or I put it in hot water because this is how I drank it during COVID. When I got COVID like 3 times, but I do like 2 capfuls and stuff.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And this is exactly how I drink it, but it's good to me. I ain't gonna lie,
once you get over the shock of the taste the first time, because it is bitter. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think bitter is nasty, but bitter is just bitter. You know what I mean?
I like bitter food. So, I mean, I'm a woman. I eat raw oysters. I eat pickles, anything bitter, salty. So, let me get this.
Yeah, bitter is just bitter. Bitter doesn't mean nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And there's a saying in the wellness community that bitter is better. You know
bitter
what I mean?
is better. And you know what's so funny? There's a product that we used to use back in the day, like at bars when we used to get sick serving. And they'll be like, get you some bitters for your stomach, for your cold or whatever. And we would be shooting that and we would feel great. So
absolutely.
I don't know why they call it bitters or what's in it, but yeah. The Pinot Noir is better? Okay, cool. Let's do that because I don't feel like struggling with this bottle anyway, so that's a better bottle. Thanks.
Oh, that's a twist. That's
Thanks,
a twist
Big
off.
D. Yes, it's a twist off too, because I was finna get over here like Shaq.
Right.
He saw what was going on. Listen, so we got the Pinot Noir for the vegan man, all natural.
There you go.
You make me feel so bad every time I take a bite of a.
You have a guilty conscience.
A guilty conscience.
Well, I'm doing my job.
You eat like organic, like. All the time.
All the time. You gotta be natural.
Your wife, like, she cook.
Yes.
You don't have to eat out.
Not often, no. But I'm in Atlanta, so even when I'm eating out, I'm eating healthy. You know what I mean? Yeah,
because Atlanta is sort of like where we are here, but like you live, like you stand 10 toes down on this.
Got to. It's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? And not only that, it's a way of life at this point, because I say all the time, when you talk about high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, you damn near talking about everybody black that's over the age of 60, damn near. They dealing with either 1, 2, if not all 3 of those issues. So it's a big thing.
That is true. Get you some of this low blood pressure here. Because they say red wine
okay, let me see.
And the olive leaf combined together.
All right.
Yes. It's a Pinot Noir.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
actually, this is grown in France.
Yeah,
so
I can do that.
You like that? And it's very light body, you know?
Yes, it is. Very.
So it matches your outfit and everything.
Perfect.
Look, you look good, DJ.
I appreciate it.
Look, the olive leaf is treating me good. That's what I got to say. Listen, but I'm going to drink me a little both. I probably, red wine is not too bad. It's good for the blood pressure and stuff like that. But combined, like I said, with olive leaf.
Hey, you doing your thing.
Hey, I got the best of both worlds, so I love it. Welcome back to the wine cellar, by the way.
Oh, appreciate you having me back.
time. Cheers. Cheers.
Absolutely.
I never drank with him before. I didn't even know he drank. I've never offered you a glass of wine. That's crazy. So, the olive leaf. So
well, we definitely about to have an interesting conversation.
We are. Let's talk about it real quick. I want to talk a little bit about the product first because your product like took off.
Mm-hmm.
We've been like marketing your product for years. There was a moment where we didn't even need to market no more because you really standing on business out here.
It was gaining its own traction. You know what I mean? And that's what you want as a business owner. You want your community to respond to, your hard work, your blood, your sweat, your tears in a positive way. And, it's not a time that I don't want to come back and thank the winos. You know what I mean? Because it was the platform that really helped to establish us.
Look at that camera now.
We have been out since 2016, you know what I mean? But it wasn't until we, you know what I mean?
I think it was
connected.
2018 when we started working together.
And we have been grinding those 2 years. But then when COVID hit, we was like, and this was obviously before any mention of a so-called vaccine or whatever. And I was like, Tasha, we really need to push olive leaf. People are panicking. People are, passing away. Yeah. People are not going to work. You know what I mean? They scared for their life. And you was like, DJ, let's get on it. And we got on it. We stayed on it.
Yeah.
And luckily, we were able to handle COVID. And we didn't even run out of product. Even when we had problems getting our manufacturers to ship us product, we never ran out.
I was going to say, I do have to thank you for this because, it's already hard out here as Black entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. And to be that entrepreneur that goes above and beyond, because I feel like as Black people, sometimes we're expected to do more than what our white constituents do, which means we have to bust through hoops just to make people happy because of the reputation that has been created out here that Black people don't take business serious, right? Mm-hmm. And contrary to popular belief, that is so not true. And I've been blessed to meet business owners such as yourself, and I have not had, and I have to say this, one complaint about the product.
Beautiful.
One issue about the product. I've never heard anyone say that the product doesn't work.
Right.
I haven't heard anyone say that they haven't gotten their product.
That's huge. Mm-hmm.
And that speaks volumes.
Yeah. It does, because at the end of the day, like you said, we're stigmatized oftentimes as Black business owners off top, and people automatically think that we don't do good business or can't do good business.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm a testament, you're a testament. There are many other successful Black business owners out here that are shipping product, that are providing goods and services to people in a timely manner. And like you said, they're standing on business, and they've been out here for decades, some of them. So shout out to all of those, successful entrepreneurs that get up every day and make that business happen. Yeah.
I love that. And because, for a while, people really thought that I owned a lot of the products that I was advertising on my channel at one point. And it was like, no, but that's how passionate I am about people's businesses, because we're sharing business at the same time. And so what's good for your business is great for my business. And we're both, really grinding and trying to make it happen and get it out there. And, I don't think there's a wino that don't know about it.
Right. Exactly.
The winos feel like they built this business like this our shit.
Absolutely. And they let me know. they call, because, I think I tell you all the time, customers will call, and I wind up having sometimes 20, 30-minute conversations with them about not just health, but about their life, because it goes beyond just selling a product. You know what I mean? We really are into the education of health, educating our community on how to take control of their own individual health. I say this all the time. We turn too much of our power over to pharmaceutical in the medical industry, you know what I mean, to our own detriment. And so if there's anything that I'm an advocate of, is us taking control of our individual health. And it starts by knowing how your body works, right? And knowing what products to put in it, starting number one with your food. You know what I mean? Yeah. With your diet, the things that you put in your body on a regular basis, and then whatever you may not get in terms of nutrients or whatever, that's why we have the olive
I'm trying to get on your level, DJ. I'm probably like 60% there.
Okay.
It's when that time of the month come, all shit goes out the window.
Them cravings, right.
It is bad, bro. The day, it was started the other day. I told Shay, go get me some Funyuns, go get me a Kinder chocolate bar.
Not and the Funyuns. Funyuns and a chocolate.
And I had some olive leaf too.
Yeah, you all over the place.
I know. I said, go get me this.
That's going to make you go to the bathroom.
He knew. He would have got that shit too.
Oh, yeah. Y'all been together too long.
Like 1 or 2 days out of the month where, you know, shit can go wrong. And those are those 2 days. But thank goodness I could get right back on it. And I think that's probably around the time that I got sick too, because it was like, damn, like, what the hell? So, but nah, luckily I always keep me a stash of olive leaf somewhere, because it is great for gut issues and things like that, and helping you to process and digest a lot of that shit.
All that,
detoxify. But what I love about you is not only do you stand on business, right? You actually live by what you preach.
Absolutely.
All the way.
All the way. I have to. You know what I mean? Like, what I look like being in Popeyes. Like, come on.
You do look like you.
You know what I mean? Not again. That was when I went from being a meat eater to a plant-based lifestyle, believe it or not, chicken was my biggest issue. You know what I mean?
I think that's all of us.
We have a sacred relationship with that chicken.
That's why Bill Gates tried to try us with that lab-grown chicken.
Absolutely.
But Ron DeSantis said,
hell no.
Hell no. Not in my state. Shout out to I said,
he got that one right. He got that one
vote
right.
On that right there.
He got that one right.
He said, not in my state. I said, if they can cultivate themselves, they can cultivate any cells.
If they can do that to us with the chicken, they can get us up out of here, like, in short order, because we gonna eat some chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Chicken tenders.
Chicken whatever.
Listen, I think they finna go right to Chick-fil-A and try to sneak that shit
you know
right
what
on in.
All the lab. Absolutely. But you know, at the end of the day, like I said, being an advocate of us taking control of our individual health, you just have to have those real conversations with people. I ain't somebody who dropped down from the sky. I came up from the trenches. I know what it's like to not have nothing, to your point, have those cravings or those habits, those eating habits that oftentimes set us back health-wise. You know what I mean? And I was determined, as a result of so many family members passing away prematurely of preventable disease. I'm like, what sense does it make? We buried such and such due to congestive heart failure, and now we at the repast eating the same thing that killed
because you know they cooking in the basement of the church.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, something ain't really right about this. You know what I mean? We kind of remixing this thing all over again, and at some point we gonna be in the same situation. So I say, for those of us who think these issues of high blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes are hereditary, oftentimes it's not. What's hereditary is the way that we prepare those foods. We taking Big Mama and them recipes, and we eating and seasoning and doing everything the same way for the last 60, 70, 80 years, and we're getting that same result.
No, you don't eat meat at all.
No, I don't.
No animal-based products.
No animal-based products.
Do you
eat
all. Substitutes?
I do from time to time, like when I'm out, when I'm traveling, I have to. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a small frame person. A lot of people, metabolism is still high, and if I don't eat on a regular, I'll be like, feeling nauseous and all that. So I have to substitute those things from time to time. But when I'm home, I try to eat as clean as possible.
Okay, you got to excuse me, guys, like, because he pulled me out of the bed. I'm still detoxing. Virginia Beach almost put me down. We had a successful show, though. That was so great. A lot of the winos there that do use olive leaf and stuff like that, so shout out to them. But let's talk right quick, because I know a lot of people are probably asking, like, you know what I'm saying, what makes olive leaf like that product? Because like I said, we haven't had any bad reviews.
This is the thing about olive leaf that's so powerful in regards to high blood pressure, right? We know that high blood pressure oftentimes is caused by stress, right? And the body's reaction to stress. So let's look at it like this. We may have stress on a job, stress within our household. What that stress does is it causes the veins, the arteries, and the capillaries in our bodies to constrict, to tighten up.
Right.
Now, the blood still has to get to those places, but when those things constrict, it raises the blood pressure, right? That's where high blood pressure comes from, a constricting of the veins, the arteries, and the capillaries, right? So what olive leaf does is when you take it, you still may have the stress, but it relaxes those components. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of tricks the body into going into a more relaxed state so that the blood pressure comes down. You see what I'm saying? So you're still under the stress. You still may be going through what you're going through, but the body now no longer has to react or respond the same way. And that's the beauty of olive leaf in regards to high blood pressure. With cholesterol, we know that the biggest thing is bad cholesterol, right? That comes from eating a lot of processed foods, animal products, and things like that. It's like plaque. So what olive leaf does in that regards, it begins to strip away that cholesterol. So people that have issues with cholesterol, their cholesterol goes back to a normal level because the olive leaf is actually chipping away at the plaque and those things that are building up in our arteries that causes the cholesterol.
So tell us, because I remember years ago I haven't had any cholesterol issues since, but I remember going to see a doctor when I was like 28. Mm-hmm. And he was like, my good cholesterol was too low. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, your LDL, and then you got your HDL, exactly. Right? And I had no clue as to what he was talking about, but he was like, your cholesterol is good, but your LDL is too low.
It's too low.
Mm-hmm. Can you break that down?
The LDL means that you have to eat more fruits and vegetables, okay, and less of the processed foods.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's all a general rule of thumb. When that's off, increase your intake of fruit and vegetables. Because again, my olive leaf in terms of the company is different. While I advocate for a plant-based lifestyle, I know the majority of the people may not ever evolve or graduate to that level. So I'm very practical and say, hey, if you still eat animal products, let fruit and vegetables constitute 75% of what's on your plate. General rule of thumb.
I do that.
Let fruit and vegetables at least comprise 75% of what's on your plate. And you keep that, and then make sure whatever it is you eat, you drink water afterwards. You see?
You know what my grandmama used to do? We still laugh about this to this day. We couldn't afford meat back in the day. Mm-hmm. So she grew a lot, her and her brother grew a lot of the produce and serviced it to Panama City and stuff. Shout out to Panama City. And it's my hometown. And what she would do was she would make vegetable plates for us. Mm-hmm. You know, we ate it would be, black eyed peas, cornbread, rice, all that stuff. And meat, once we finished all the vegetables with the rice and the cornbread and the water, if we were still hungry, we could have some meat. We weren't hungry after that shit.
No, you wasn't. And meat was a delicacy back then.
It's still a delicacy in Africa.
It is.
You'll have one quarter leg,
right?
Not the whole chicken.
No.
A quarter leg and 6 people sharing that. Just two pieces of chicken, and then the rest are vegetables.
Exactly. And the reason why it's a delicacy in those places is because they don't have the GMO or the genetically engineered poultry. They have to grow chicken free range or in a natural way. So it takes a chicken a longer time to reach the age of which it can be, processed as meat.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not a quick process. Here in the Western world, that same chicken can reach maturity in like 2 months. You know what I mean? Because it's pumped full of steroids. And that's the problem. That's why meat is no longer even seen as a delicacy like it was back in the day. Even in the States before there was GMO, people ate a lot less meat than they do today. The reason why the Western diet is so heavily meat concentrated is because the meat is so easily grown now. See, and
Facts.
That's a part of but that's also explaining why we have so many health issues as a result of the genetically modified meat. The antibiotics and all of those things that are compromising our own immune system due to the ingestion of the meat. So the women typically have issues in regards to a overproduction of estrogen. Why? Because all of the chicken that are in grocery stores are female.
I can attest to that. He is not lying, because if I eat chicken up until my cycle is about to start or I'm about to ovulate, the amount of estrogen that is in my body, which causes painful breasts, headaches,
extreme painful periods.
Extreme bloating. Mm-hmm. Like when they see my stomach sticking out, like, Tasha, you 8 months pregnant. No, bitch, it's the chicken.
That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
And I'm going to tell you, women who carry a lot of estrogen are 8 times more likely to develop uterine fibroids.
Yes.
See, so that's why we have so many of the women in our community dealing with that particular issue of fibroids. You see what I'm saying? And so now when you go into the doctor's office and he or she says you have fibroids, what is the first thing they want to do? Operate on you. You see, but
they have to cut it out. Like,
but there's a natural way. Now, if they're too big, then yes, you know what I mean. Surgery is the best option. Or if it's affecting a woman's ability to reproduce and things like that, I understand. But oftentimes, when the fibroids are small, they can be shrunk naturally by changing the diet.
Not feeding them.
Exactly. Because all tumors feed off of sugar.
Yeah, I was saying, like, you can feed them and that's how they grow. So, yeah. And, oh, wow. Like, you're hitting home there, DJ. Seriously. Because I'm not, like, I am nowhere near perfect. Like, my life is so busy. Like, cooking is a rarity. Yeah. Like, my husband, when I cook, he's like, wow. Like, when I try to get downtime, I try to cook. But because I'm so busy, I do not have time to cook. Right. And so I have to go and I have to eat at these restaurants and I have to carefully select what I eat so that I don't, ingest a lot of the chemicals and stuff that they're making. So like my salads, I'll make sure that it's, I have them bring out the olive oil bottle. Let me see. Is it refined? Is it half olive oil, half safflower oil, all that shit? Like I really have to be detailed with it. Absolutely. 9 times out of 10 don't eat chicken, or beef in restaurants and stuff because I like mine prepared a certain way, but like, and I rarely eat red meat anyway, but, it's only certain moments where, cause I do a lot of high impact, like, cause I do CrossFit. Right. So, and my body will literally be, okay, you need some beef. You need some protein.
We don't never need beef. We need protein. That's what we be craving.
But the first thing come to my mind is like, cause when I was pregnant with me, I want to eat meat. It's the first thing that's craving. Yeah. So, because the beans, I was like, they give me too much gas. Oh my God.
Yeah, the beans will give you gas, but there are other ways outside of the beans, and we'll talk about that you can get protein.
Like what?
Because that's really what primarily beans, right? But the reason why the beans give you gas is because of how they're cooked. If you can prepare the beans to where they're not overly cooked, you won't get the gas. See that you won't get the gas. Certain foods should be cooked, but also certain foods should be eaten raw.
Because black eyed peas, I cook them down.
Let me give you an example.
What's up?
People complain about gas when they eat cabbage. Right?
Yeah, but I eat raw cabbage. I don't have gas.
You don't have gas when you eat raw cabbage.
I don't.
People complain about gas when they eat raw kale. Right? Yeah. But you cook kale, you don't have gas.
Kale does need to be cooked.
Kale does need to be cooked. See, that's just 2 examples of certain foods that do better cooked and others do better raw. So we just got to educate ourselves on what foods we should eat raw and what foods we should eat cooked. That way we avoid that issue with gas, because the gas can kind of, interfere with a lot of what we're doing. I'm saying the interfering with the pleasurable aspect that we gain by eating good foods, because there's nothing wrong with kale and there's nothing wrong with cabbage. It's just how it's prepared.
This is like lately I've been doing, I would do a green smoothie before my show, and I will always drop a cap of olive leaf in it. And the olive leaf ain't have nothing to do with this, but if I didn't have the olive leaf in it, I would like, dang, why am I bloating? Why do I have gas? And it's all raw foods.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I need to assess like what my body is supposed to eat raw, what it's supposed to eat cooked. Absolutely. And things like. Let's talk about these fruitarians, because there's this guy that I follow online. He's a fruitarian, and he looks sick. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, his eyes are sunken in, his skin is saggy. Like, he looked younger when he had weight on him, but now that he is a fruitarian, he looked like he like one step away from and it was a white woman that died too, because she was an extreme fruitarian. Right. But there's these, I don't want to call them fad like lifestyles and stuff, but I just don't know, like, I can see fruit being healthy because of the water content and stuff. Right, exactly. But like, what would make it, I don't know, make someone look like that?
I don't advocate for an entire diet based off of fruit, especially if you're a person of African descent. Our body, our bone density, and our muscle mass is different from other folks. Yeah. So we require certain nutrients in certain amounts that other ethnicities and races may not need. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I will never advocate for a diet that's just totally based off of fruit. I advocate fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains. Okay. That's fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains. That provides our bodies with the vitamins, the minerals, as well as the nutrients that we need, so that we can function and be at the optimum level from an energetic standpoint, but also so that our immune system stays strong, so that it's not compromised by what we may come in contact with in the environment, which is why we suffer from so much sickness and disease.
Yeah.
We're coming in contact with things in the environment, and our immune systems are already compromised. So let me give you an example. I said in the beginning of the conversation, high blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol are running rampant in our community, especially with people over 60. Who were the most susceptible people to die or pass away as a result of COVID? It was the seniors in our community, right? Because their immune systems were already compromised. Number one, due to a poor diet. But guess what was right behind that? Pharmaceutical drugs. Pharmaceutical drugs compromises our immune system, family. Don't get it twisted. Pharmaceutical drugs, because they're not natural, they're synthetic, they come out of a lab, they don't complement our body chemistry. Mm-hmm. It creates a disruption that disrupts that natural immunity that allows us to fight off disease that we're coming in contact with. Millions of different viruses every day, bacteria, fungus, you name it. Right? Because our immune systems are oftentimes robust, it's strong enough to fight those things off. But if we have a poor diet and then we're exacerbating that with pharmaceutical drugs, our bodies are always in a stressed and chronic state. So when we come across something that the body is not yet used to, it has no choice but to go into overdrive to try to fight it off, and then that's tearing us down. You see what I'm saying? So that's why so many of our seniors wind up, you know what I mean, passing away as a result of something that young people, by and large, were able to fight off. Yeah. And that was a clear indication as to why, and we had this conversation years ago, why I did not advocate the vaccine, and still don't, because I'm an advocate of our natural bodies doing what it naturally does.
We all knew that vaccine didn't do shit. The vaccine helped with chicken pox, measles, and all that shit. But like this vaccine, I was like, well, what did it do? I got COVID. I got the vaccine. I still got COVID. I got COVID like 3 times with the fucking vaccine. Saying? Now they talking about they got a new version of COVID. And then I heard, I was reading the UK, one of the UK media sites, and a person that just died. He was like 87 years old. Said he had COVID for over 3 years, a continuous bout of COVID. Yep. And he had over, I want to say 20 different strains of COVID.
See? What? Immune system totally compromised. You see, the immune system's compromised to the point to where it can no longer fight off infection. And that's a very dangerous thing because, like I said, we come in contact with millions of viruses, bacteria, fungus every single day. You see what I'm saying? And so the body, this is why I advocate our first line of defense is our food. The second line of defense is supplementation. You see, but there's no way to get around a healthy diet. We have got to get away from this Western diet, this standard American diet that does not complement our body chemistry at all.
We have the worst dietary standards in the world.
The worst, absolutely.
No, everybody was like, America this, America that, America number one. No, we are. That's like, it's so bad.
That's why we're checking out early.
And that's why they're stopping abortions. Yeah. That's why they're like the
replacement level. Absolutely.
We are dying.
Fertility rates
too fast.
You know what I mean? With low testosterone in the men, and that's another thing
from
in
the high
regards.
estrogen
diets. Exactly. Yeah. So
you need to talk about that because I be seeing men around here with full on titties.
Yes, the estrogen in the meat, particularly the chicken family, that's causing us as men to not only have low testosterone, but the body now begins to grow breasts as if we are a female. Because the body is now thinking that it needs to grow breasts because of the high levels of estrogen.
Because of these wings.
Because of the chicken, period. You know what I'm saying?
But the niggas like wings. Like, let's talk, like, yes. It's because of these fucking wings. And I swear... I be seeing men, they got more ass than me, more hips than me, more titties than me, and then they claim they straight, they heterosexual. Nigga. Right. I might as well be with a stud. Like, For real. And then I heard that their penises are coming out a lot smaller.
Absolutely, yeah.
Black men are not born with, you know, the they said it's shrinking.
Absolutely. As the generations go by, the penis is actually getting smaller. And even when it's fully erect, it's not even erect to the size that it was intended to be, because it's not able to get fully erect because of the low levels of testosterone. That is a problem. I have a
girlfriend, oh my God, her husband eats chicken all the time. He eats chicken and he smoke weed. And she cannot get him to get hard for nothing. And he's like 48.
He may be dealing with, you know, high levels of estrogen, low levels of testosterone. But he also may be dealing with diabetes too. He may be pre-diabetic and it spikes at certain times. It spikes at certain times, and that will interfere with his libido as well. But regardless of that, he definitely needs to get himself checked out. You know what I'm saying? Get a full workup and get on that olive leaf. Because that's going to put him back in the game. It's going to revamp all of those things.
About leaving him because he can't perform.
He can't. And that is a big issue that men suffer from. Now, you couple that with men being addicted to so much pornography. You see what I'm saying? And now that's a recipe. That's a whole nother conversation, but that's also dealing with health. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you take those two things and it's like, come on, man, you setting yourself up for disaster. A man should be turned on by the natural look, the feel, all of the pheromones that a woman give off in his presence. It shouldn't take all of that extra stimulation to turn him on. If that's the case, something is wrong. There's an overstimulation somewhere.
He preaching today.
Yeah. There's no reason why a man in his 40s should have issues functioning. You see, sexually, there's no reason. If that man is working out, if he's not smoking, if he's getting enough rest, drinking enough water, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And eating the proper foods, there is no reason why that woman should walk in with some linguine/lingerie on and you not get turned on, bro.
Because the hole always is open. You just have to walk through.
Right.
But if you can't get the energy up, is the penis a muscle though?
It is a muscle.
Wow.
So if
you ain't taking care of your heart, you ain't taking care.
And there are exercises that I advocate men do to actually strengthen to increase the strength of their erection.
How? What are these exercises? I'm trying to find out for myself. Look, what are these exercises?
There are muscles that the man can work, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Right behind his prostate, that as he works those muscles, when he get erect, is damn near, I call it diamond dick. You know what I mean? Like he's up, he ain't coming down no time soon. He good. And that's without any Viagra, Cialis, or any of those things. He up and is touching his navel. You see? In other words, he functioning like that little boy when you take the pamp off and the wood stick. He like that. You know what I mean? Because that's how a healthy man is supposed to be able to function, especially if he's in the presence of a woman that he's connected with. You know what I mean?
Like
it shouldn't take all of that other stuff.
So if your lungs ain't working, your heart ain't working, the blood can't pump through the body. It can't.
If you're having issues with blood pressure, it's going to affect your libido and how you perform. If you're having issues with blood sugar, it's going to affect your libido. But you know, we got to keep it real. The man is much more than just his dick getting hard. You know what I mean? So
who said that? Who said that? Who told you that lie? Don't speak for us.
No, I'm speaking for us as men.
No, don't speak for us.
We more than just dick, Tasha. We more than just dick.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Because if the dick ain't working, we ain't having no conversation.
I'm saying that's important, but it ain't just that.
It is. Look, I don't know what he's trying to. You gonna love me and you can't fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna love you, but I'm gonna go over here and fuck him though. Okay, keep going.
I can't with you.
Wino. The winos know. Listen.
Well, see, look, we gotta keep it real. That's why half of them got the roles anyway. So you know what I mean? We know.
And here's the thing: I do not believe in toys.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And from experience, the pleasure that a toy gives you,
it desensitizes.
I'm not gonna say it desensitizes. How can I put it? It's a quick like that.
It does. It's not intimate.
No, no man can't make you come 30 seconds.
Some men can.
30 seconds. You just getting warmed up.
And I'm saying that to say foreplay takes place long before the bedroom.
Exactly.
So there are things that's a part of that.
It take time to get
I
there.
got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But what I'm saying is like when you use those, it's like it kind of, why do I have to sit down and do this long issue with you and I could just go 30 seconds to a minute here and do this and be done? I think it takes away it makes you lazy. It gets in the way of
it interferes with the bond. Yeah, it really
does.
That's really okay. Now you got me in my bag.
See?
Because most of us ain't having sex. We fucking.
True.
Okay, that's what most of us are doing these days as a result of just this plethora of pornography. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sex is sacred energy exchange. That's what sex is, right? And we're not even going into that in a healthy way. So as a result, we fucking. That's what we doing. So let me give you the history of what that means.
What that means?
Fucking is an acronym. That was never a original word. Fucking is an acronym that stands for fornication under the consent of the king. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Fornication under the consent of the king.
Which means he gave you permission to go have outside sex.
And in feudal Europe, what happened was when a man and a woman desired to get married, it had to be authorized by the king. And the king could actually sleep with that man's fiance and she still be considered technically a virgin. Okay, the king had first rights to any man's wife who was not a part of the aristocracy, who was not a man of means. So the common man, he could have his fiance. The king could sleep with his fiance, and she come back to him, and she would still be considered technically a virgin because in feudal Europe, the king was the personification of God himself. Okay, so now. That's where that term came from. So it was fornication under the consent of the king. And that's what most people are doing now. Okay? So all of these ways that we say sex, it ain't sex. Sex is simply a penis and a vagina meeting. Anything outside of that is masturbation. I'm going to say that again. Sex is penis and vagina, a penis going into a vagina. Anything other than that is a form of masturbation. Straight up. Let me give you the history of oral sex. The history of oral sex also comes out of feudal Europe. Oral sex was a form of punishment. So people who committed crime, they were punished and made to perform oral sex, because in Europe, people did not bathe every day. People would go weeks, sometimes months without bathing.
Oh shit, they still like that though.
People would go weeks and months without bathing. As a form of punishment for the commission of crime or criminal behavior, they were forced to perform oral sex as a form of punishment. That's where that comes from.
You think that's why black women always so turned off when a motherfucker asks them to suck their dick? You gonna suck my dick? What?
That's that. Well, you know, you mature, so you still got that stigma. But some women in a younger generation, that's off top. Like that's a given. And so again, the ways that we're classifying sex is not even sex. Like I said, it's masturbation. It's different ways to masturbate. That's what it is. And masturbation by default is reducing that person to an object. That's what masturbation is. Remember, I said sex is sacred energy exchange. In order to have sex with somebody, you first have to see them as sacred. Okay? And the sacredness of the act creates the bond. Masturbation, there is no bond. So whether it's oral masturbation, anal masturbate, no, they're addicted to the rose. It ain't a bond. It's an addiction that's solely based off of pleasure, right? And pleasure can be anything. So if we're operating under the guise of what feels good, that leads us into all types of negative, self-destructive, unhealthy behavior. If we're just going by what feels good, there are a number of things that feel good that are not safe and are not healthy for us. And that's a conversation that I'd be more than happy to have with whoever who want to come on. But my mom and dad told me the best place for my penis to be outside of my pants is in a black woman's vagina. And I have not heard anyone explain to me yet why that is not the best place for a black man's penis.
It was your eyes when you said that comment. Your eyes got really big.
I have not yet heard anyone explain to me why a black man's penis is not best in a black woman's vagina.
Dr. Umar. Come on, Dr. Umar. He said, no Neanderthals over here.
You know what I'm saying? The day somebody can come to me and explain why a black man's penis belongs anywhere else other than a black woman's vagina, I'll be more than happy to have that or listen to them. But I have yet to hear someone explain that to me. And the same thing for a black woman.
Now, we have seen some nice looking white men now, I ain't gonna lie, but that's just where it ends.
Back to the dollar.
I don't know. I just feel like when you sleep with a white man, it's kind of like you sleeping with a slave master. For me,
it ain't no kind of. That's what it is.
But I'm not racist or anything.
But I'm saying
it's how the dynamic was structured. Like, you understand, if you built your house this way, I'm gonna always somehow feel inferior or somewhat not safe when I'm around the family or something. Like, I just
Well, what you are explaining is there's a skewed power dynamic at play. Okay.
Yeah.
If he is owning everything and you own nothing, you're not even coming into the exchange of energy on an equal basis. He's superior, you're inferior. For most people, that's a turnoff inherently. For most spiritually based people, they're not going into that level of connection with anybody when there's a skewed power dynamic. You see what I'm saying? When you are in
a black man.
When you are in, well, we know in some aspects of the sacred energy exchange, there's reciprocity. You know what I mean? So women, you get just as much or should get just as much out of the sacred energy exchange as a man. If you're not, something is wrong. And so women have to stop saying, well, I was sleeping with you. We should have both gotten something out of that. So that should not be used as a weapon against a man to justify a particular thing. But I'm kind of digressing. Let me get back to the point that I was making.
Good stuff, though.
So in that particular situation, you're reacting or responding to a skewed power dynamic that's exemplified with a white male. Okay? So now, most of us are not having sex. We fucking. And I say this all the time to my brothers in the barbershop. What does it mean when you're having sex or intercourse with a woman and you pull out of her and you ejaculate in her face? What does that say about you? In other words, why is there a need for you to degrade this person? Because, see,
That's degrading?
Because we have adopted ways.
I have got to rework my
adopted
bedroom,
ways.
DJ. I'm like,
that's what you gonna do with me when you talking to me. I'm gonna get you all the way right. We didn't prescribe to this thing. Subscribe to this thing.
Have a talk with you. We done.
We don't.
Don't you worry about where I put my shit on my wife. It's like, well, all right, DJ, now podcast over, bitch. She gonna be looking at me like, who the fuck is that guy?
Again,
go ahead.
What are we as men getting out of that through that particular act, right? Again, we feel the need to express power. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're actually using the penis as a weapon. That's what we're doing in that act.
When you come on a woman's face.
When we feel the need to humiliate and degrade. That's what pornography is all about. That's what pornography is. Pornography is not sex. Pornography is fucking. You see, for the purpose of expressing domination and control, humiliation, and oppression. Now, what does that kind of sound like? That kind of sound like slavery to me. You see, and we're acting these things out.
Well, it really is, because people don't really want to have sex for money. They do it because there's money involved, and that's how they make money. I don't think anybody wakes up and is like, I just want to be a porn star. Like, I just love it. Like,
there has to be something that's missing, something that's happened, traumatic in a person's life.
They may not want to admit it, but that's
there's something going on. It's definitely not solely about money, because they ain't even getting paid a whole lot of money.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? And these days, a lot of these people are doing that stuff for damn near no money.
It's so oversaturated.
Of course.
It's not even funny. Like, it's like they've taken away. If sex had any value, there's none now.
No. But again, it ain't sex. It's pornography and masturbation. Right. That's what's going on. And it's all designed to get us overly stimulated and chasing pleasure, and to the expense of everything else. And that's a very dangerous thing for us to be doing, especially as an adult.
How is it that the U.S. government is banning TikTok but not Pornhub?
Well, they're banning TikTok. You getting me off? They're banning TikTok. I
just had to ask.
No, it's all good. They're banning TikTok because they know that the demographic of people that are on TikTok are younger, primarily 18 to 35. 80% of people between the age of 18 and 30 get their news from TikTok.
Right.
Okay, that is very influential in that particular demographic. Now, when you look at the demographic that's protesting this situation in Gaza and all of that, that's primarily that generation. You see what I'm saying? And so social media has been always used as a tool to control populations. That's what it's been created to do.
So United States don't want them to do, China to do to us
what the United States have been doing
in Haiti right now,
in Iran, in other places for years. You see what I'm saying? So that's what that's about, because they don't want you to have that direct connection to express whatever your views are, your politics are, whatever the case is.
America's own people,
and create movements that the government may not yet be able to handle, because it's coming from a particular demographic that's very active and savvy on social media and creating a narrative that can change the power dynamic in this country. So yeah, that's what that's about. Control.
Back to, because I was just like, Pornhub. Oh, they got Pornhub. They got kids on Pornhub. I heard they got sex trafficking on Pornhub, allegedly. All types of shit.
Tasha, we don't even realize how big sex trafficking is. We hear about it, on a low level, but it is so pervasive in the society at this point. It will actually terrify most parents. Watch your children. Have these conversations with your children. Do not allow your children just to be on social media without any type of supervision. Anytime your child is on social media, you should have the ability to monitor what the sites that your child is going on, the apps that are on their phone, who they are talking to. There are people masquerading as children, and they're actually grown ass men. You know what I mean? That will get an IP address and show up at your house same day to take your child. It is that pervasive. This migrant thing. A lot of the children that are coming across with their parents, they come out missing, never heard from again. They wind up in Europe. You see, this thing is actually pervasive. But this, again, why we have to be aware of what's going on in our community. And I appreciate you bringing me on to have these types of conversations, because it's always cool to turn up.
Yourself too. You have Relax and Take Notes.
I do.
And you're really having some hard-hitting conversations on there. So, I'm glad that you finally entered the podcast space, because we've been telling you for many years that you need to do it.
Yes.
Thought leaders, people who come in contact with information, disseminate that information, share with your people. So I'm so glad that you do have the Relax and Take Notes those podcasts. Y'all make sure y'all follow his podcast as well too. So
thank you, Tasha. Yeah, I appreciate
anytime.
that.
Yeah, because I mean, you have you cover like a vast variety of topics that really, can help us mentally, physically, spiritually, all the above. Because that's ultimately what it boils down to.
That's what it's about.
It's not just about, yes, diet is number one, because I'm gonna be honest with you, your diet sets your mood.
Absolutely.
It sets the tone for everything. How you feel, whether or not you get up early or you sleep in late, or you go to bed early or you go to bed late, how the energy and the frequency in which you're on throughout the day. And then topping it off, when we have supplements like yours, that helps to give us that extra boost, that security and stuff like that. And so, everything that you stand for, I've always, just kind of I rock with you on how you rock your household, how you educate your children, and you sharing that. I know it takes a lot of courage to get out here on a platform and say it and deal with people's opinions and stuff like that.
Right.
That's a whole nother ballgame, because you're like, oh my God, as soon as somebody tell me I'm fucked up, like, it's
we don't want to hear it.
We don't want to hear. I don't give a damn though. But when I say cuss my ass out anyway, let's talk. But no, I'm glad that you are moving more. You're in the health space, and now you're moving into the physical space.
Absolutely.
Which, governs everything. So
yeah, it's a balance.
Yeah.
So let me say this real quick. For those of you who may be dealing with high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, the olive leaf original formula. The olive leaf original formula is what we recommend for those of you who are dealing with much more serious issues, autoimmune issues like multiple sclerosis, sickle cell, lupus, things like that. Olive leaf extract maximum formula. Olive leaf extract maximum formula. If your blood pressure is extremely high, the maximum formula. If it's chronic, diabetes, maximum formula. Detox, olive leaf original formula, as well as the moringa cilantro superfood, will get you right in as little as 30 days. Yeah. Weight loss, the moringa cilantro superfood, excellent for weight loss.
Yeah, and I do want to stress, because people be like, I've had somebody ask me, what is the olive leaf? And I'm like, the leaf of the olive tree.
It's the leaf.
So when you hear people talk about how great olive oil is for you, and how olives are great for you, and how the Mediterranean diet is probably one of the best diets in the world, because it's centered around fish, fruits, and vegetables, a very well-balanced diet.
Right.
You're just taking basically the leaf of the olive and pulling out those nutrients. And like I said, is it the National Institute of Health? Like, I was reading a lot of information on the olive leaf, and just with the respiratory just kind of benefits alone.
Absolutely.
Like, they were doing placebo groups with it, and people who had respiratory issues or didn't have respiratory issues and were around people with contagious respiratory issues, they either developed them, but they only had like maybe a 5 to 7 day, whereas respiratory issues can last 3 weeks to a month.
Yeah,
right?
It can linger.
Or they didn't get anything at all. You know what I'm saying? And there's just so much research out there. Don't just take his word for it or my word for it. You can actually Google the National Institute of Health.
Absolutely.
They're out of Alabama. What they do is they test all the herbs. They're an equal opportunity testing site.
Yep,
so it's not just based on pharmaceutical drugs and things like that. They do the herb, and they are really,
they're thorough.
Especially when it comes to the herbs and things like that. And so DJ, he's got a product here, and with the moringa and cilantro, when he told me, and I didn't believe it until he told me that, the moringa and cilantro mixed together, the superfood, has all the nutrients. Like, this is the one supplement that you need. Like, you don't need a multivitamin. This is the multivitamin.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
And you just put it in your smoothies and your drinks. I could have put it in here and mixed it up a little bit, just like I did the olive leaf and stuff like that. But, like I said, just to work with him since 2018, and here we are almost halfway to 2025. No complaints. They're loving it. You have repeat customers.
Oh, yeah. Most of our customers are repeat. Yeah.
You can't live without it. So it's just kind of one of those things that you always have to keep in your house.
Absolutely.
So I dig it. So please, guys, olive leaf is it oliveleaf.biz?
Shopmyoliveleaf.com.
Oh, you changed the website?
It's both. It's myoliveleaf.biz, but it's also shopmyoliveleaf.com.
Okay, shopmyoliveleaf.com.
Yeah,
That's easier too. Yeah. But I've said it for so many years, like, myoliveleaf.biz. But yeah, and if you have questions for DJ, you can always hit him on Instagram and things like that.
Hit me on Instagram. You can give us a call, 678-554-5754. Now, I know I just gave the phone number out, but just keep in mind, family, y'all know how y'all be doing me, and I can't just give you like a 2-second answer. Y'all know me. I be having to really educate you. 678-554-5754. But be patient with me. If y'all flood the phone, y'all know how we do. You know what I mean?
I had a girlfriend that, suffers from 2 of them. One from lupus, one from sickle cell.
Mm-hmm.
The one with sickle cell, she went down to probably having 2 crises a year.
Beautiful.
As opposed to having a crisis every month.
Every month.
And if you know anything about,
you mentioned her to me. Yeah.
And then my friend that has lupus, she's taken all meat out of her diet.
Good.
And I actually asked her to do an interview, but she's shy.
Okay.
I was like, girl, come on.
Gotta hear your testimony.
It's a great story. And she's like, I don't know.
People be afraid.
Get nervous, right?
Yeah.
And so she doesn't have any type of flare-ups. She's not on her medication because she's gotten rid of all the meat, all the processed food. So she eats basically a plant-based diet.
Okay, good.
And olive leaf, she swears by it.
I have people who actually
I wish you could get her for a testimonial, but she is just so scared.
I hear it all the time. I have clients who actually forgot that they had lupus. They hadn't had a flare-up in years because they've been taking olive leaf, to your point where they used to have, attacks once a month, to the point to where they couldn't go to work, they couldn't go to school. It was so debilitating. The immune system was just tearing the body up. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And they have gone years without a flare-up or without an attack. So it's just a testament of the olive leaf. You know what I mean? I say it all the time. Taking control of our own individual health, staying away from the pharmaceutical medical cartel, because they killing us, family. They killing us, family.
They the biggest legal drug dealers in the world.
Yes, we got to understand that they're not. And again, if you're in a car accident or some type of traumatic injury, go to the hospital, because they are A1 when it comes to things like that. But for preventative issues, you got to go to your herbs, family, because I'm gonna tell you why. In closing, this medical system is based off of medication, radiation, and surgery. That's what you're going to be recommended damn near 10 times out of 10. Medication, radiation, or they're going to cut you. They're going to cut something open. So it is a trauma-based medical system that we're dealing with.
That's why they call it trauma.
That's why we have to do what we got to do on the front end to prevent that whole situation, because once they start medicating you and cutting on you, we know that doesn't go well. That doesn't go well. You know what I'm saying? So let this baby boomer generation be the last generation where they may be, because that's my hardest nut to crack, so to speak. That generation, those over 65. You know what I mean? That are kind of set in their ways in regards to the farmers. Let that generation be the last generation where they just subscribe to that. We got to get back to our indigenous, original ways of healing. So all of the light workers out there, y'all know who y'all are. I give thanks for all of the work that you're doing. Let me shout out Yaki.
Oh yeah, Yaki, that's my dog.
Yes, beautiful brother. That brother has taken the teachings of Dr. Sebi and overdrive.
Yeah.
I'm talking and he is going to go further than Dr. Sebi. Why? Because he's younger and he's working social media, and he's become a phenomenal person in that area. Chef Aki is another one. Yes. Beautiful sister, wellness mogul, a brother out of the Caribbean. I think he may be in the States now, doing phenomenal work.
I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, Kidi Awadu has been around. He's an elder who's been doing work for probably 30 years in the health space. You got Queen Afua. Shout out to Queen Afua.
I've heard of her.
All of you, the big names, and those of you who are doing your work in your basement. You know what I mean? That may only have 10 or 15 customers. Keep working your light, because we know that America is shifting now, and there's going to be a time where people are going to need what it is that you do. Your gifts, your talents, and abilities. Don't shut your companies down. Don't get intimidated. Keep doing what it is that you do in the space of wellness and herbs and spiritual healing, and we're going to change our whole community.
I have been begging my team to allow me to implement a health segment, and they don't think the people want it.
the people want, if they go by the response I get when I come on here, we sick.
Even if it
we want answers.
10,000 views or 20, it's still like, that's still great. I think they're spoiled with all the big numbers and stuff. But I'm like,
you about to get me okay.
But here's the thing: I'm watching these guys, the 10X guys, the Gary Breckas and all of them. And don't get me wrong, Gary Brecka got some good information and stuff. And I'm glad he's bringing all that knowledge that he got from the pharmaceutical companies and the life insurance companies that he worked for over 20 years and was basically averaging out how many people were going to die. They could tell you up to the minute when you were going to die. Right. And he made a lot of money in that industry until he saw that it was just not fucking right. And now he's out here exposing them. Basically, the pharmaceutical company, I was like, he keep going. I said, they're probably going to try to kill this white man because he is literally calling them like they are intentionally making you sicker. I know. Right. I did the work. I worked for them. Right. I marketed sickness. Yeah. They know that they can heal you, but if they keep you in the system,
they gotta monetize.
It's like,
that's where the money is.
Habits. They want to make you addicted. How do we keep them coming back? Because if we cure them, we ain't going to stay in business. So, and I'm glad that finally white men, because that was unheard of 10, 15 years ago, coming out to stand up against pharmaceutical companies. Right. You never heard of that. And he's the first to do it. But I was just like, black people been doing this shit.
We've been doing
that shit. So like, him saying, which is great. Now, please guys go do your own research, however, but he was saying, I was watching one of his lectures yesterday, and he was saying, like, out of all the research, we've always known what burns fat, right? Right. And Sheck was telling me, yeah, he was saying that ice baths burn fat. So you see a lot of the athletes in ice baths.
In an ice bath, yeah.
And I was like, I had to think about that. I was like, you know what? Down at my spa, they offer cryotherapy where they will put these things on your stomach and freeze your fat, right? And I was like, and then you pee it out. So it'll dispel it, break it up, pee it out. You'll never even create the fat cell again. Right. He says he gets up every morning at 6 a.m. The first thing he does is sit in ice that is 32 degrees or below for 6 minutes or longer. Not only does it wake you up, but 2, it shocks the body. And 3, those happy endorphins. You ever notice when your kids jump into a pool and it's cold, they're like, ooh,
you up now.
You're up and you're happy. He said it floods the body with all of the great hormones, the happy hormones. And then on top, your metabolism, it kickstarts it so that you can start your day. And he was like, 6 minutes a day. That's all. He said, I start my day like that and I start on a high. And then when I'm ready to go to sleep, I sit in a sauna. I make sure I get heat so I can go to sleep. But he's telling all the things. He was like, I can give you one test and it'll tell you what you need to supplement. Absolutely. And you will live for the rest, like you will live to your 100 plus.
Yeah, you'll live a long, healthy life.
A long, healthy life. Whereas he said we knew people was checking out at 70, 75.
Absolutely.
That's young.
Extremely young. Yeah. When the body is designed to live to 100 years old. Yes. And I'm saying robust. I just got back from Nigeria earlier this year, and one of the elders there, she was 101 and she was moving around, dancing. She just transitioned. See? She just, like, maybe 2 months ago, 101 years old. And when I was there earlier this year, she walking around holding the babies. I'm talking about fully functional.
About life, and she probably wasn't even mad that it was time to go because she enjoyed her time.
She had a full life. She was never sick. She laid down and went to bed, and that was it.
A peaceful sleep. See, like that's why I literally call for it all the time. 100 plus, please, 100 plus, fully functional.
We can do it fully functional.
Fully functional, yes. Mind clear. All of the above. I get it in the body. One thing about the body, it is regenerative.
Absolutely.
They say
you put the right things in it. Yeah.
Yaki said he grew a thyroid back.
Yeah. You put the right things in it. The body has no choice but to respond appropriately.
Like we do it with our skin. Like imagine like we hit our leg and the skin comes off. The skin regenerates itself. It regenerates itself. The whole body regenerates itself.
The body is designed to heal itself as long as the right things are put in it.
Right.
That's the key.
Yeah. And so like I appreciate and I applaud what you guys are doing. I'm really thinking about maybe at the top of next year of implementing a health and wellness segment, even if it's only 30 minutes a week. Something. Yeah.
That'll be
because
beautiful.
I do integrate it into my topics now, because they notice that I'm not just celebrity gossip based anymore. I'm world news, anything, tech, science, politics, whatever. And
there's a space for it.
There's a space for it, and I think it's important that we know what's going on.
Absolutely.
What the NIH, what research that they're doing, what the WHO is doing, what type, because a lot of people just don't translate that kind of stuff. And so to us, TikTok, we have a big following over there, and these videos do be going like super viral. So thank you, DJ.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you. Cheers.
Cheers.
So my first glass of wine.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
And shout out to the winos for your continued support. We love y'all. My family appreciates you.
And thank you. Yes, I did do this podcast getting over an allergy attack. Okay. And so I drank my olive leaf, but thank you again, DJ.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
myoliveleaf.com for all your products. And until